Do you remember the first time that you played Mountain Blade Warband? The grainy map of Calradia stretched out before you, filled with infinite possibilities and zero instructions. It was you against the whole world, armed with nothing but a rusty sword, a questionable haircut, and dreams of conquest and glory. You'd get knocked out by looters, harassed by sea raiders, and watch as your first siege devolved into complete chaos on those godforsaken ladders. And somehow, you would still fall in love with every single second. To me, Warband isn't just a game. It's a time machine to an era of messy, beautiful player-driven storytelling. It's a flashback to a simpler time when I didn't have as many responsibilities, bills, and back pain. Where I could easily get lost playing the game for hours and hours on end. Because let's face it, we didn't just play Warband, we lived it. And for those of us that still hear the haunting melody of Swadian halls when we close our eyes, welcome home. It's almost harvesting season. My name is Koifish, and this is my love letter to the game Mountain Blade Warband, a sandbox open-world RPG that's all about being a medieval lord, leading your very own, warband. We start the game by creating your character, and as this game was released back in 2010, there's only 2 gender options, as the others have not been discovered yet. Now in a modern game, the choice of your gender would be purely cosmetic, and not change anything about your gameplay experience. But this is Warband we're talking about, and it's not a modern game. And your gender acts basically as your difficulty setting.
Don't worry, this doesn't affect combat, just every other aspect of your whole life.
Wait, what the fuck? Because when you play as a woman, most lords won't even take you seriously. You need more renown to join a faction, and your liege is way less likely to give you a castle or a city when one is conquered. So because this game can be hard enough as it is, we're going to play as a man. We then get to pick our backstory, which will give us our initial stats, starting gear, and most importantly, if we get to have our very own banner or not. Because unlike the successor to this game, Bannerlord, you have to earn the right to wave your own flag in battle. Alternatively, you can pick the noble background and start as some rich guy's kid and get one at the very start. Because just like in real life, being born to rich parents is very, very overpowered. We then put out the rest of our stat points and build our character, pick a suitable name, and brace ourselves for the divine tool of masterwork that is the Mountain Blade Warband character creation. With this divine tool of art, players have created some of the finest eldritch abominations that the world has ever seen. Like this guy, and this guy, and let's not forget this guy. Truly a divine visage of beauty bestowed upon our mortal eyes in digital form. The peak male body. And by hitting the randomize button a few times, it will be revealed to you the faces that you only otherwise see at a Walmart at 4 AM in rural Ohio. And with our character created and looking like this, it's time to pick our starting location. Here, we're first introduced to the game's 6 different kingdoms. The Swadians, true Germanic shads, who are all about heavy cavalry, endless feasting, and consuming way too much butter. The Vagirs, medieval Russians that subside only on snow, swinging huge axes and getting constantly harassed by boat migrants, known as sea raiders. The Kyrgyz, throat-singing Mongol horse lords, obsessed with heavy bows, fast steeds, and subpar living conditions for all of their villagers. The Nords, the best faction in the whole game, without a question. Literal Viking legends with zero need for cavalry, carrying hilariously large shields, and are funded by an economy entirely based on salted fish. The Rhodoks, inbred, hill-dwelling crossbow fanatics.
Let me show you its features.
That collectively share about 5 brain cells. That refuse to fight honorably and would much rather sit in their castle and scream slurs at you from the ramparts than to face you in head-on combat. And lastly, the Saronids, elusive, sand-eating natives of the desert planet Arrakis, launching their blessed jihad on the infidels of Calradia. Muad'Dib. More like Muad'Dib, my balls in your face. That's not in the script, don't put that in. Since I'm probably the most Swedish person you've ever heard in your whole life, I think you know who I'm gonna pick, the Nords. And arriving into these new lands, I get a proper Bristolian welcome, as a local crackhead tries to rob me in an alley.
Now empty the compartments of your pantaloons. For what purpose?
And thankfully for us though, self-defense is 100% legal in Calradia, so we take him out with an appropriate amount of force. We're then saved by a member of the merchant class, a man of great wealth, as indicated by his 2 loaves of bread on his table, and a fine collection of gigantic cabbages tastefully displayed in the corner of his room. Further inside of his house, we can actually find a bit of an Easter egg, a book on a table. This book contains only 2 words. And all of that means absolutely nothing, as this little commerce cuck has had his brother kidnapped by the local Albanians. And unlike Liam Neeson in that one movie, the skills that he possesses does not make him a dangerous man. And that's where we come in. We agreed to save his siblings, and are sent out to recruit the 5 strongest, most dangerous and unhinged football hooligans of the local area to fight the Albanians in a head-on brawl. But then, it happened. The inevitable end to all Nordstart playthroughs. Sea Raiders. Overpowered, overgeared Vikings that takes one look at your early game power scaling and goes,
I will drink from your skull!
But this is great because it lets you take a look at the combat in Mountain Blade Warband. When the game came out, it was way ahead of its time, with randomized battle map terrains and starting positions based on your tactician skill, which made every battle feel unique. And with the ability to order your troops around informations in real time, Warband actually felt like playing a classical RTS, but from the viewpoint of the commander on the battlefield.
Good evening, Twitter. This is your boy.
Come on, my brave hooligans! Save them!
I beat the fuck out of my dick so goddamn hard that I can't even feel my left leg.
Stop!
Slowly.
Ah! Very good! We've defeated the Sea Raiders! Isn't that right, guys? Well, it looks like I'm gonna need some new troops. And with the Sea Raiders defeated valiantly, their drip stolen, and our hooligans rehired to fight the Albanians, we managed to catch some of the robbers that are associated with the Albanians, and we are now hardened veterans of combat. Having defeated the Sea Raiders, I'm pretty sure I can take out these robbers myself. I was able to defeat them, and through my expertise in interrogation... Where are the prisoners? Listen, you little shit. Where are those Albanians hiding that merchant's brother? You better tell me right now, or I'm gonna cut your head off and play golf with it. Oh, you're actually agreeing. Can you mark it down on my map? Thank you. 4! I was finally able to discover the location of the Albanians' hideout. Alright, boys, low and slow. Slow is good and slow is fast. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. If it wasn't for the fact that we're here to do killing, I'd almost say that repeating water texture is quite beautiful. Get them, lads! Come here, you little shit! Beat him up! Oh, there he is! We've saved him! Dear God, why does he look so tired? What have they done to you? Did they touch you anywhere inappropriately? And with the brothers saved, we return to the merchant for our great reward. But are stopped by a local town drunkard trying to sell me his mixtape. I promptly decline his offer, and he draws his sword. But as I'm an expert in self-defense, I know exactly how to deal with these kinds of situations. Fucking run! Run! Ah, he has a knife! Run! Help! The fight or flight reaction triggers my PTSD that I acquired in the Gulf War, which immediately activates my special forces training, and I proceed to use a reasonable amount of force to neutralize the threat. And with the drunkard looking like he could really use a chiropractor, I'm gonna go talk to the merchant now. And 200 dinars richer. With the brothers saved, we find that the plot goes much, much deeper. The captain of the guards has let darkness corrupt his soul, and has let the very bandits he swore... How on earth does he get his cabbages to get that big? It's impossible. Cabbages. Massive. This merchant has massive cabbages. Are you even listening to me? Yes. We'll help the city. It's time, lads! Up and at them! Ah, it's a civil war! Chop him down! That man's beat me! He killed a woman! Stone him! And with the town once more safe from adulterers, thanks to the power of stoning, it's time to actually start our adventure. Because that's right, that was just the beginning. Yeet. So let's see about getting ourselves our very first job. We're going to need 3 things: gold, troops, and renown. And the best way to get those starting out is to take a quest from a local lord. And talking about lords, the game has a lot of them. There's even a full directory to look through, where you can see all of their names, what kingdoms they serve, and even who they're related to. This is the core to the game's basic but well-functioning diplomacy system that keeps the story going on, even without you having to interfere with it, with lords feuding, feasting, and sometimes even switching factions at their own whims. So we grab the first lord we see. Hello there, Jarl Heida. You look like you're rocking a few extra chromosomes. Luckily for us, Jarl Heida is in need of someone to lay down the law. As it turns out, a few weeks ago, a lawless villain known as Calradia of Saren murdered one of his men, and they've been on the run from his judgment ever since. We will bring justice to him, and in return, we get 300 dinars. We arrive in Aldelen, supposedly where the vile bastard hides. My name is Koifish, and I'm here to lay down the law. I'm looking for an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. No, that's the... Now, when hunting an outlaw like this, you gotta be careful, because of course all of his family members are trying to hide him over here in the village. You don't want this to turn into a full-on massacre like that one time back in the Gulf War that ended up with me getting PTSD. We're looking for a man that stands out. We can ask the village elder, but something tells me that this elder is in on their gig. Oh, now that don't look like a peasant to me, unless that's one hell of a straight sickle. But you know what they say, don't question the what the fuck am I saying? My name is Koifish, and I'm looking for a murderer by the name of Calradia of Saren. You fit his description. I don't understand, sir. I never killed anyone. I think you got the wrong man. Then drop your sword. If you're innocent, you have nothing to fear. It looks like I'm gonna have to fight for my silver, as he's currently resisting arrest. Oh, God, oh. He is made of sturdy stuff. Get him back, pedal. Oh. Ow, he stabbed me. Ow. Dear God, we're gonna have to finish this quickly. Justice has been served, and it's time to return to Jarl Heida. Except we have to actually find them on the map. You can ask other lords for their whereabouts, and they don't, and sometimes they have no idea. Jarl Heida. Sorry, let me
You should kill yourself.
300 gold. Very good. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go return some videotapes. The Jarl Dirigun here is in dire need of a tax collector. It's time to act as the Warband's IRS, as the village of Fenada has not paid their goddamn taxes, and the villagers of Fenada consider them to be extortion. Ignore them and continue.
Money.
Now, Jarl Dirigun is expecting us to return his 3,000 gold that we claimed in taxes from his village, and we get to keep 1/5 of that. But what if we just kept it? And that's exactly what we're gonna do! That's right, I'm gonna keep all of his money and avoid this man like the next door neighbor in a Swedish apartment complex. And instead, I'm gonna buy myself a brand new axe. So we can also help out in villages. And as it seems, they've been harassed by the local bandits. I'll teach these people to protect themselves. By the time I'm done with you, you won't be plowing fields. You'll be plowing through the ranks of the enemy. Dear God, he's not gonna remember anything of the training. I don't just wanna teach these peasants how to fight. I wanna change their lives through the power of fitness.
Listen up, my future swole beast. You've been walking around with a spaghetti arm and a soggy cereal spine for too long. Today is the day you become unstoppable. This isn't just fitness. This is life. This is dominance. This is gaining the power of the gods of the Pantheon. Everyone's always asking, how do I get strong? You know what I tell them? Forget form. Forget balance. Forget sleep and rest. None of that matters. It's all about the protein, baby. And lifting heavy things. You know how much protein I eat in a day? 200 grams by breakfast, 500 grams by lunch. Dinner, a protein shake the size of a small child. Trust me, the science checks out. And speaking about protein, all of you that eat chicken and egg, you need to wake up. The real secret lies in the animals that they don't want you to know about. Oh, you didn't know about cats? Every single fluff ball contains approximately 85 grams of unrealized untapped strength.
I'm not saying eat your cat, but I'm saying your cat wouldn't hesitate to eat you if the tables were turned.
They're here. Gentlemen, let's do what we've all been training for. Form a wall.
Haven't even been training us. You just beat us up with sticks.
Oh, there they are. Come on. Hold the line, boys. Hold the line. Keep it steady. No, get off my peasant. Look at them. You've gone from peasants to power lifters, all with the help of friendship.
And these peasants have truly learned the value of fitness maxing. As a reward for saving their village, they give me beef.
That's protein, baby.
And from this point, we continue the early game grind, completing mission after mission, until that glorious day when we finally have enough clout to join a kingdom.
¿Quieres?
But Warband is a massive game, and there's so much more to cover that I can't fit into one video. We're talking companions with questionable backstories, the expertly coded Turkish dating simulator that the developers hid inside of the game, and the sweet rush of dopamine when we fulfilled the millennial pipe dream of finally owning our very own property. All of that and more will be showcased in the second video. If you don't want to miss that, or any of my other completely professional productions, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button, and check out the video that's being recommended to you right now on screen. Thanks for sticking around for this long, you're a real Butterlord. I'll see you guys in the next adventure. Now, away with you, vile beggar!